of the X-Men is an Omega-level mutant. This means that Aurora Monroe's powers have an undefinable upper limit, placing her in a tier of mutants who also wield an extraordinary amount of power and are crucial to the future of Marvel's mutant kind. Sometimes referred to as the Weather Witch, Storm's abilities have always posed a great threat to her foes. But it was only in contemporary comics that she was given the status of an Omega-level mutant, which was further confirmed in the recent House of X issue 1. So today we are taking a closer look at this iconic X-Men member and what she can do with our list of the top 10 superpowers you didn't know Storm had. Starting us off in at number 10, Atom Kinesis. Storm has the power to control matter on an atomic level. This is the basis of her weather manipulation abilities. She has a psionic ability to control all forms of weather and ecosystems, modifying and controlling aspects like temperature, precipitation, humidity, and moisture, and can generate lightning and other electromagnetic atmospheric phenomena, including atmospheric pressure. And that control is incredibly precise to boot. So yeah, girl can do some awesome stuff. Up next, number 9, Telepathic Resistance. Sometimes simply referred to as her immense willpower, Storm has the ability to resist telepathic attacks. Now this is actually one of her more interesting abilities due to the fact that it wasn't part of her genetic mutant skill set. It was something that she learned and honed over the years thanks to being in such close proximity with telepathic mutants who are also part of the X-Men team. Her resistance to telepathic attacks also becomes enhanced thanks to the electromagnetic forces she manipulates, which can help cloud up her foe's focus. Moving on to number 8, her Earthlink. Storm has developed a very special psychic bond with the primal force of Earth's biosphere. Now this elevates her powers to a spiritual level, feeding her spiritual and material sustenance and creating a vast amount of empathy for living beings. This is why her emotions can overload her sometimes. Not only do her emotions dictate the strength of her control over the weather, but it can also lead to catastrophic effects if she can't maintain control over her feelings. Anywho, this Earthlink can also sense and detect life force. She can sense things like dying life forms. She once sensed that a tree was dying on the property of the Xavier Mansion. She once sensed that the Blackbird was cutting through the atmosphere even though she was thousands of miles away. And she can sense any natural phenomena occurring on the planet, like earthquakes. I mean, if she stopped being a crime fighter, she would have a great career as a meteorologist. Just saying. In at number 7, Magical Potential. While we haven't really seen much of Storm busting out magical powers, based on her ancestry, there is evidence that she could potentially unlock magical abilities. Now, we've seen this become a reality in alternate universes, including when the 616 Ilyana Rasputina, aka Magic, found herself in the Limbo Dimension, where she ran into an alternate of Storms, who would then go on to train her in the arts of witchcraft and black magic. Back to the 616 Storm, though. One of her ancestors was a sorceress supreme, and other ancestors of hers worshipped Egyptian gods, specifically Ashtur, the mother of Agamotto, who seems to favor those of Aurora's bloodline. Imagine having a god back you, just knowing that, like, they got you if you ever run into trouble. That'd be kind of nice. Moving on to number 6, she can breathe underwater. Storm's ability to control and manipulate natural forces extends to the power of separating matter molecules into oxygen and hydrogen via electrolysis. Now this means she can breathe underwater, as seen in Extreme X-Men issue 2. I mean, it makes sense considering she can control so much precipitation in the first place. It'd be nice to, you know, create like a tsunami, but also be able to withstand it and breathe through it and not feel like you're drowning. Let's sidetrack a bit here from Storm's mutant powers and look at one of her abilities that comes from years of practice and experience. Being able to pick locks, pick pockets, and get past advanced security systems, and use her immense dexterity when in a pickle or needing to escape from somewhere. Now this dexterity isn't just in her hands either. She's proficient with her toes and mouth too. Get your mind out of the gutter, friends. Now these skills are ones that she keeps honed and even passed down to students of hers. Go to Xavier School of Gifted Youngsters, learn how to pick a lock, and steal some money. Moving on to number 4, Energy Vision. This one largely ties into Storm's Atom Kinesis powers. Storm is able to alter her visual perception of the world around her. Now this allows her to see energy patterns with much more clarity, and she can detect the flow of electromagnetic, kinetic, and thermal energy, which she can then bend to her will, allowing her to create the likes of thunderstorms, hurricanes, blizzards, you name it. But it's not just the natural world that she can perceive differently. She can also use this ability on humans and see the nervous systems of others, which comes in handy when needing to counterattack. All this is possible with just a blink of her eyes, and she can even use it to see in almost complete darkness. Up next at 3, she can use her powers in space. When we think of Storm's vast connection to nature, we often tie those powers to the environment on Earth. But Storm can also use her powers in outer space, and has done so in the past. Whatever planet she's on, her deep connection to nature allows her to make use of that planet's natural energy. And similar to our previous number concerning her ability to breathe underwater, because she can affect and manipulate molecules, along with interstellar and intergalactic mediums, she can theoretically breathe in outer space depending on the conditions and the nearby environment. So not a foolproof thing, but definitely something that she might be able to amount to. In at number 2, teleportation. Now we are getting into some of the more obscure abilities of Storms. Storm is capable of teleporting, sort of. In Extraordinary X-Men Volume 1, Issue 16, Storm used energy from witches and wizards to create a portal out of lightning, and then she used said portal to teleport herself and others to various realms. It is believed that she was able to do this thanks to having that magical ancestry that we mentioned earlier. This was part of the Kingdom's Fall story arc in which Sapna, a relatively new X-Men member, was possessed by the World Eater, and Storm and Magic had to work together to prevent it from claiming the realm of Limbo. And finally, in at number 1, she's a god. Divinity. In Storm's first introduction, she was being worshipped as a goddess in the Serengeti after her mutant powers had appeared, which is where she was recruited by Professor Xavier in Giant Size X-Men issue 1 in 1975. Technically, it was specifically Kenya. The gift of godhood has been passed down from Aurora's ancestors, and the mutant can be endowed with more power from people's beliefs and prayers. The more people who believe in her, the more powerful she becomes. She's like a weather Santa, but without gifts and a much nicer physique. Sorry, Santa. In Black Panther issue 172, she became an actual god when the faith of Wakandans helped her ascend and gave her enough power to defeat the villain adversary. She's also been known to invoke the god Oshtur for aid from time to time. Looks like that connection does come in handy. Alright, there we have it, friends. What powers of Storms do you wish you had? Give us a shout in those comments below and let us know your thoughts and feels. If you dug this video, you guys know what to do. Spread that love, hit that thumbs up button, and be sure to subscribe to Top 10 Nerd if you haven't already. We'd love it if you stuck around some more. Also, be sure to check out one of the videos that's currently flashing somewhere on your screen. It's probably gonna be fun. In the meantime, thanks for watching, friends. I'll catch you all in the next video.
Bye-bye. I probably left a comment here years ago. I don't know if I can find it.